Hey y'all, how y'all doing? Chinese here, also known as China Coast. And so I just wanted to, firstly, I hope you all have had a lovely day or are having a lovely night, afternoon, whenever you experience this video, if you choose to. So I watched the 1934 film release of Imitation of Life, and I'm going to start out with what I liked about the film. I really love um, B's attire, her wardrobe, the Caucasian lady, the white lady who took in. So, for those who have never seen it, sorry. So, Imitation of Life, it tells the story of essentially this white lady is a widow, and she has like a 3-year-old, 4-year-old daughter. And she, in 1934, New York City, and she is selling, her husband has died due to a train crash, I believe. And so she is picked up her husband's sales business, which he would go about selling syrup to hotels. And she is having to do that to take provide for herself and her daughter. She has her own apartment, and she encounters a black woman who is a housekeeper. She has a daughter. So the white lady is like in her, I don't know, I gather like her 30s, mid 30s, and the black lady is like, I guess, early 40s. Um, and she comes to our house because she's looking for work to be a housekeeper. And she ended up approaching this lady's house, B, by mistake, because she's supposed to go to Astor Avenue, but she goes to Astor Street. Anyhow, when she discovered that she went to the wrong place, the lady was very kind to her. It's like, you just take the streetcar, essentially like it's a bus or train, and it'll take you across town to the address. And then she's like, well, we'll have to walk because the black lady has a 7-year-old, like a 6-year-old daughter. The black lady is a beautiful, dark melanated woman. She's a full figure woman. Um, I guess he was called like a little overweight, and she has a beautiful smile, and she's very friendly, and she essentially says, "Well, I don't have the means. I don't have the means to get on a streetcar." And so the white lady's like, "Well, I'll give you, car fare." And then she says to her, essentially like, I can, would you mind, do you have space? You know, I can, if you have an extra room for my daughter and I, then I can work basically for free. I'll, tend to your house just so my daughter and I can have a place to live. It'll be a bartering system. You don't have to pay me very little. And she was saying her daughter, she's hard for her to find work, secure work, because people don't want a live-in maid who has a child. But she said she wouldn't be separated from her child no matter what. Right? Cool. So she said, so the white lady's like, okay, I'll help you. I mean, you can move in and have an extra room. And so the lady ended up becoming not only a housekeeper, but also a nanny for the white lady's daughter while she go out and sell syrup to hotels. So the white lady goes out and she finds, so sorry, when the white lady decides, yes, you can stay here, you can be a roommate, you can board here with your daughter. And her daughter, oh, sorry, the lady is the beautiful, like I said, dark skin, the housekeeper, but her daughter is very fair skinned. She looks like she's biracial. She's not biracial because the daughter's father is very fair skinned. The mother says, her father's very light skinned. Um, so that's where she got it from. So maybe her father is biracial, or his grandmother was white, or his grandfather was white, and he's just very fair, similar to Adam Clayton Powell, if you know about him. But So the daughter's very fair. She's very fair. She has keen features, and she has the hair texture of the average Caucasian. Um, and so the lady makes, like, makes mention of that. And essentially, the black lady, her daughter's in a playing bathtub, and she almost falls. She falls in the bathtub, and the lady, when she goes up, the white lady goes up to attend to her daughter. When she comes downstairs, the black lady is cooking food for her, breakfast for her. I may be getting out of order, but she starts cooking for her. And the little girl is like, she's like, Mommy, a horse, nice horse. So we started out, the little girl who's like 4 years old refers to the black lady as the black housekeeper or maid as a horse. So she started out the gate calling her an animal. And she says, nice horse to clean it up. It's still an animal nonetheless. So the black lady laughs it off because that's what the writer had the black character do. And so the white lady goes about trying to, she fixes her some pan. The black lady next one fixes her some pancakes that her grandma from her grandmother's recipe. And the white lady is going on and on about how tasty the pancakes are. And then the black lady's like, well, it's a secret recipe from my grandmother and I will never share it. And then she told the white lady her secret. So the white lady goes into town and she sees a storefront that's vacant. And she thinks to herself, let me, buy this store or rent out this storefront so I can sell the pancakes of the black lady. We need a store, we need a great location where there's a lot of street traffic to attract customers. So she goes and she talks her way into renting a storefront that also has a living quarters in the back. And she's a fast talker. She has a gift of gab, the white lady, and so she's able to move into the space without paying 2 months of rent. And she'll make a down payment. She gets a furniture guy. She has such a gift of gab. Like she moves into the place without paying any rent down. Until 2 months later, she makes that agreement, and she has a furniture guy who can provide her with the stove and things like that. She gets him to do it for her for basically nothing down on an installment payment. And then she gets the guy who will paint signs, so she get him to do it with no money down. So she has a gift of gab. She's very influential, right? Attractive white lady. And then the business start flowing, and the black lady is making pancakes, and then sometimes she'll hop in and she'll make the pancakes. And the gentleman walks past while it's raining, white cat, and he goes on and on about how he used to love pancakes, and she gives him some pancakes, and he goes on how great they are, and that she should sell them, put the pancakes, not only sell them in the restaurant, but put them in a box them, and then she can sell it they can sell it nationwide as a distributor. She loves the idea. Then they begin the business, and then things pick up really. She pays off all her debt, and then things go really well. And then he decides, the guy works for her, and he's like, well, they make so much money. She was like, we're going to incorporate. She tells a black lady whose grandmother again created the pancake mix. She tells the black lady, we're going to incorporate your business. And she puts the black lady's face on the box like Aunt Jemima, and she's like, I'm going to give you, you're going to have 20% of the corporation. And then they're going, and so the guy was like, you'll be rich. And the white lady says to her, her business partner, says to her, basically, she's acting like an employer, but her business partner is like, now when you sign this agreement, this contract, you'll get 20% of the corporation. And the guy was like, you'll be rich. And she's like, you sign this contract, and the black lady's like, and then she said, the white lady's like, now you can buy a house, you can buy your own house, you can buy a car. And the black lady's like, I don't want to, I mean, who's going to take care of you? I don't, you're trying to basically put me out. She's like, yeah, but I'm thinking if you have all this money now, don't you, I would think you want your own house and your own car. She's like, well, who's going to take care of you? I want to take care of you. I want to be there for you. This is 1934 New York City. This is during the height of the Harlem Renaissance period. in New York City, where there's Zora Neale Hurston, Langston Hughes, W.B. Du Bois, Claude McCain, like all type of like they're like writers and musicians and dancers and um, there's doctors and lawyers and teachers, like Black business people, and then there are those who are, domestics and Black people of all socioeconomic backgrounds living in New York City. And this is what it's lived in 1930s, 1934 to be exact. Now the lady has established she's from the South because she mentioned referenced her grandmother in the South. Her grandmother made a lot of money from white folks, from selling her pancakes or eating her pancakes. Well, she attracted a lot of white folks eating her pancakes. I don't know if her grandmother went into business, but so we know she's from the South, and her daughter, as the movie progressed, her daughter, I skipped around, sorry, but her daughter is in school as a child and it's raining. So the mother decides to go to the school to give her rain boots and rain hat or what have you. And when she goes to the school, she knocks on a classroom door and the teacher does nothing but white students. So the mother's like, I'm here to bring my daughter, get my daughter her rain boots because it's raining really hard. And the teacher's like, but we don't have any color students. And the mother's like, no, but this is too big. She's like, yeah, but we don't have any color students. She's like, oh, there's my daughter. And the little daughter, she kind of soaks in because she's mad that her mother dropped a dime. She'd been passing for white. And she's mad and she runs out and basically like, I hate you, I hate you, I hate you. And her Black mother, who's like, again, early 40s, maybe late 30s, from the South, she is very docile. She lets her daughter say anything to her, like, I hate you, I hate you. The mother doesn't discipline her mother, doesn't discipline the daughter. She doesn't berate her. She doesn't scold her. She like nothing. I'm like, I don't even know this type of Black mother. And I don't know every Black mother, but a Black mother from the South, letting her daughter talk to her like that, fine, whatever. So let me just say this. Fannie Hurst wrote this fictional story as a novel, and then it was adapted as a screenplay by Mr. Hurlbut, directed by John Stahl. Both of these casts are from Illinois, the director's from Chicago, and either the director's from Chicago, was born and raised in Chicago, and or the the individual, the screenwriter who adapted the novel to a screenplay is from Illinois. They're both from Illinois. Um, so the little girl is passing for white, was trying to, and her mother basically exposed her by bringing her boots and being loving and concerned, and she just tells her mother she hates her, and she's mad at. And then the little girl, her white roommate, the little girl her age, called her Black, and she started crying out. She's like, I'm not Black. I don't want to believe you. I hate being Black. I'm not Black. I'm not Black. And the white lady says to her daughter, don't, why would you say something so cruel? Like, being Black, of course, that's cruel and that's mean to call somebody Black when in fact they are Black, although she's very fair skinned. So the little girl hated being Black, and her mother's dark skin, so she couldn't hide from that. And she hated that her mother was phenotypically Black and had melanin, visible melanin. So the little girl was basically tortured because she wanted to pass for white, and her mother is blatantly Black, and she hated that about her mother. But the lady was rich, and so as the movie progressed, the white lady ends up encountering. She has a party because it's successful. The business is really successful. She has a beautiful townhouse in New York now. And the Black lady still lives with her, of course, because she doesn't want her own house. She doesn't want her own car. She needs to take care of this white lady. And the white lady ends up encountering a man who's a guest, and he's loving on her. All the men are loving her. She's dressed really in fine garments and fine dresses and jewelry, and she looks gorgeous and glamorous. And then the Black lady is pretty much asexual. She has no love interest. She has no interest outside of that house. And her daughter is an adult now, and her like 18, and the other little white girl is away in college, and the black girl she went to a Black college because her mother can afford it, but she quit because she don't want to be around Black folks. She don't want to date porters and domestic, even though when you go to HBCU, many of those people back then, they were from upper middle to upper income Black folks, and they were aspiring to be doctors, lawyers, teachers, scientists, musicians. So they wouldn't have been domestics. But she don't want to encounter be around Black people because she want to pass as white, even though her ass is Black. She's actually rich. Her mother's rich. Her mother's rich. She can go to any school she wants to. She's never hungry. She's always clothed. She has ample money. She can travel if she chooses to. And she looks Caucasian. Like at first glance, she looks white. She looks white, like straight up. And so it's like, Ma, what's the problem? Like, if you like, your mother's not gonna go everywhere with you. She's not. If you go to a club, she's not gonna go with you. Anyway, she's to me is a spoiled little brat. And she wants the amenities. So she wants the same opportunities that are afforded white people in their 30s. That's what she wants. So she wants to pass as white. But her mother keeps dropping a dime, keeps showing up, basically exposing her that she is Black. And she is disgusted with her mother. And she feels bad. She does express that she wish she's not trying to hurt her mother, but she just wants the same opportunities and not to be experiencing racism and discrimination. Um, but she really takes it out on her mother. Like, distance yourself from me. Don't identify yourself as my mother. She leaves her mother, quits school, goes to work, and her mother goes looking for her. She working in the store, and people think she's white, of course. And her mother comes, finds her, and her mother's like, her name is Piola, and her mother's excited to see her. And she's like, I don't know who you are. She totally plays her mother like she doesn't know her. And then her employer comes over and like, do you know this lady? She's like, yeah, she's my daughter. So and she's getting fired, or she just quits because she know it won't last. So she's disgusted that her mother again exposed her for being Black. Um, we just see this lady disappointed and mad the whole time. Every time we see her, she's mad. It's like, oh, and there was some scene. This movie is so racist. It's like there's some scenes where the Black lady, before they become rich and she's living in her house, she's like, the white lady comes home from work from selling syrup trying to sell syrup at different hotels. The lady is like, oh, my feet hurt. And the Black lady just volunteers to massage her feet. And she's like, oh, you're so pretty. What happens? You're so pretty. You're gonna attract, basically, you're gonna attract a man because you're so pretty, you got pretty feet. You're gonna attract a man who'll take care of you. You shouldn't be like toting things around, and you should be taken care of and catered because you're so beautiful. Meanwhile, the Black lady is beautiful. She's a heavier woman, but she's a beautiful woman, and she's kind. And of course, they didn't write it that she has a love interest or someone doting over her, because why would they be? The Black character is very self-diminishing. She places white woman on a pedestal, even when she's rich, even when they're both rich, and they're rich because of the woman's grandmother's pancake mix and how she prepared it. That's why they're rich. That's why the white woman's rich. That's why she's rich. And even when during the party, when the party is over, right before the party is over, like the lady's like, oh, my feet are killing me. And of course, the Black lady volunteers to massage her feet. Now, the white lady is never thinking to herself, let me massage your feet. Let me massage your feet. No, that's not even a thought on her mind. She's not even like, you don't even matter. Like, you're supposed to tend to my needs. Although I'm rich because of your grandmother's product, because of you. But she's still treating her like she's an employee. The Black lady is still treating her like she's her employer. The Black lady doesn't even see the value. It's like she doesn't even see the value in her own essence. She doesn't see the value in her product. The lady had an opportunity to have her own house and car, and she's like, who's going to take care of you? The fact that the white woman's like, I'm gonna give you 20%. No, bitch. You get 20%. The white lady had a store, so she did secure a storefront to sell the pancakes in the restaurant. And she also connected with a gentleman to have it boxed and sold nationally. So it minimally, the lady should get 40% and the black lady should get 60% because you have to distribute the product. You have to find a means to sell it and market it. So she 40% is fair and she gets 60%. But bitch, you giving a black lady 20%, that's racism. Racism is economic based. Exploiting someone else's for their talents and their toiling. Why you benefit economically more so than the person who actually producing the fucking work. And that's what this movie is. That's what it is. That's what racism was. Like our people, my ancestors, toiled in the soil and their work produced the strong economy of the South in the United States. So the white folks say, y'all work and then we'll reap the benefits economically from your toiling, which is what happened in this movie. And people are going on and on about this is one of the best movies I love. Is what do you love? This movie is so racist. The black woman demeans herself. And even that was when a white woman first met her and she was like, I have a baby. She's like, oh, I have a little girl. She's like, yeah, so you're a 200-pound woman, willing to do anything for your daughter. 200 pounds. She insults her. You ain't supposed to guess my fucking weight. That's insulting. You're 200 pounds. And the lady's like, no, I'm 240 pounds and I don't need much to eat. My daughter don't need anything to eat. Your daughter don't need anything to eat. That's your child. Of course you need something to eat. Like, I understand that the woman is her education is limited and she needed a shelter for she and her daughter. And that's why she's willing to say, oh, you don't have to pay me, you don't have to even pay me really. I just need room and board for my daughter, myself, and I'll clean as a bartering system. That's fair. I get it. I get that. I get that. But once she acquired wealth through her pancake mix, she's still treating her like this lady is her boss, like basically like she's her master, her enslaver. It's such a fucking racist movie. This white lady like didn't give a shit about her. She had a massage on her feet. She never asked about how her daughter was really doing. She didn't care. Just because you don't call a black person the N word doesn't mean you're not racist. Racism is exploiting another group of people for their work, and you get paid for it and they do not, or you get very little of it. That's racism. This movie is so racist. Going on, you're gonna find you a beautiful a man's gonna take care of your pretty face. The black woman, she don't need love. She don't want love. There's no man doting after her. And she's like, oh, your baby, telling the white lady, your baby is such an angel. She is an angel. We never, and look, the white lady is looking at her daughter as she sleep, looking at her in a loving manner. We never see scenes of the black lady looking at her daughter, reading to her at night, or looking at her in a loving manner while she's asleep. We don't see any of that. This movie just makes me so mad. It it's so insulting. The lady called and when she was talking to her daughter, like, I can't. The lady was like, when her daughter's like, just leave me alone. Like, don't let anybody. I don't want anybody to know you're my mother. Just and the lady was like, the black mother was like, I can't. I love you too much. I can't unborn you. I'm your mammy. And you can't actually your mammy. The black lady called herself a mammy. Y'all, a black mother would not refer to herself as a mammy. White people call them mammies, but they would never refer to themselves as mammy. Talking to their daughter, I'm your mammy. What are you fucking serious? The woman who wrote this, Fannie Hurst, the novelist, she, you can tell how if a writer respects the characters they write, they respect their humanity. And this white bitch did not respect the humanity of black women. She didn't respect the humanity of at least I'll just say those who adapted the screenplay. Mr. Hurlbutt, He did not respect the humanity of this black character in any way. In any way. Nor the director, because the director could have added a scene where a man was pursuing her. Or see we could see her among her friends. Because when she died, and what crazy part, I'm all over the place, but the crazy part was like when she's like, you know, take the money. She's like, I don't want the money. You earned the money through your grandmother's pancake mix. You earned the money. It was handed down. The recipe was handed down to you. And now you earn the money. Almost like I don't even want the money. I just want to take care of you. I just want, what is going on? This is crazy. It's crazy. I don't give a shit that she's from the South. And it's like this whole concept of black people from the South are ignorant and stupid. They're just dumb. They don't like themselves. They hate. It's like, no, they totally oversimplified her humanity. They just minimized her humanity. Totally minimized it. I mean, I cannot fucking stand this movie. And this is the first time I watched. I've seen the 1959 version, and in this black character, 1934 version, she has no backbone, none, none. She let her daughter talk to her anyway. She is going on and on about how this white woman is so beautiful and deserve love and deserve everything. And her daughter's so beautiful and an angel. It's such a racist movie. And like I hate being black. And she's like, I don't know why the Lord made some of us white and some of us black. I just don't understand. It's like, because black is fucking beautiful. Being melanated is a beautiful thing. It loves the sun. We don't fucking age. We be looking fucking 30 years old when we 50. Melanin is a beautiful thing. Being brown of any shade is a beautiful thing. But she's like, I don't know why the Lord basically made us brown. Like it's a curse. No, that shit ain't no curse. It's a blessing. But we know how that writer felt. And some people may think, well, maybe that's just one character, China, who feels like that. Oh, okay. So of course she has low cultural esteem, no low melanin esteem. I mean, this movie was basically like, I love white women. White women are the shit. White women are better than black women. At least in this story, this black white woman is better than me just because she is. She's just innately better than me. She has white skin. She has pale skin. So of course, pale skin is way more attractive than melanated brown skin. She's smarter than me. She deserves love. She deserves love. She deserves riches. Her daughter deserves happiness. And the black lady's like, yeah, I want you to put the money, well, some of my money can go towards my funeral. I want an extravagant funeral. So you want to really experience luxury to the highest level when you're dead. You'd rather be a roommate than buy your own house. To your daughter have her own house. And the woman's like, a white lady said, I'll put your money in the bank. She was almost like, I don't even want the money. I just want to take care of you and your daughter. I mean, that's talking about oversimplification of our humanity is like my grandmother and my great aunt was from the South. And like they are smart people. If they weren't formally educated like high school or college, they were fucking wise as fuck. And I'll take wisdom over fucking formal education any day. Any day. I'm not shitting on formal education, but it's like Lorraine Hansberry would be rolling over in her grave if she saw this bullshit. I mean, she was alive when the movie came out, but she was only 9 years old. This movie just incensed me. Like that type of depiction of black people, of that black woman just diminishing herself and placing this white woman on a pedestal when it was because of her grandmother's mix that she's rich and living this opulent life. It just It's such a racist movie. It's such a white woman should be on the pedestal and a black woman should be under the pedestal, under it. The costumes are beautiful. And then the black girl, when once her mother died, of course, she ran to the funeral crying. Yes, she want to claim her, crying, acting a fool all on the casket. And yes, the shit was sad. It was really sad. Now, I didn't feel sorry for the girl. I felt sorry for her mother, who was basically had a heart attack because she's so stressed over her daughter denying her. I want to be white. Well, be white. Be fucking white. Nobody knows you're not white if you don't say shit. Be white. Like she literally had riches. The black girl was rich, could go to get any education, had no need for nothing. But she's not satisfied. She can live among rich black people. Black people are very diverse. She could have been involved with a very fair-skinned black man. I mean, like the world was at her feet. She could have traveled. She was a spoiled ass little bitch. I'm sorry, but I don't have any compassion. Like you treat your mother like shit because you want to be white, and your mother is phenotypically black, and she has you melanin. Now you disown her. Like I don't have no compassion. When she cried on her mother casket, I was like this. I was crying for her mother, and sometimes she did one time. She just like, I don't mean to hurt your mother. I just want to be white, and it's like, well, just say that and don't treat your mother like shit. Like so, just on people are just going on and on about they love this movie and it's a classic. This one guy said it was well written. This woman called herself a mammy. They just really make. I'm just really happy that my journey has led me to becoming a screenwriter, so that I'm glad to have been in a position to write fully realized principal supporting characters. Like if the character was under 5 lines, have 5 lines or one liner, then that's different. Like you can't, you're not gonna see a fully realized human being. That's fine. But when the characters are fucking principal or principal supporting character, you must make sure they're fully realized, like fully realized humanity. But they like totally shit on her. They minimize this black character. She was docile and sweet and no backbone, never got angry, never got frustrated. Just, are you okay, baby? It's like, I, massaging this woman's feet and she rich. I, why do I look so light and y'all this is annoying? Anyway, yeah, not a fan, but movies are very influential to know that that image was out there. It was almost like the writer was like, yeah, you should hate being black. It's such a curse. No, bitch. You a curse for writing such a ridiculous story and such a limited, flat black character. I'm talking about the character, not how she looked. No shade to the actresses. The acting was really good. I really enjoyed the acting. I enjoyed looking at the costumes the white woman wore, of course. Um, the house is beautiful. Um, so yeah, the pro to the movie is the acting was good, and the white woman had beautiful costumes, and that's it. All right, peace, y'all. Take care. Cheese. See, I'm just like can't stand this movie. Have a good night. Peace.